Welcome to Synapse NG, where science meets society. I am Dr. Akinbobola Otitoju, and today we are doing something different. Instead of hosting a guest, I'm inviting you behind the curtain into the world where medical breakthroughs are actually born. Because when you hear about a new cancer therapy, a vaccine, or a life-saving drug, what you are seeing is the final chapter of a very long scientific journey. But that journey begins quietly in laboratories, research centers, and sometimes even on a simple sheet of paper with a question. Today, I'll walk you through how scientists design experiments that eventually change medicine and save lives. Let's go. Now, science often begins with the right question. Every major advance in medicine starts with a precise scientific question, not broad questions like, how do we cure a disease? But focused ones like what specific gene is malfunctioning in this cancer? How does this virus attach to human cells? Or why do some patients respond to treatment while others don't? Good science is not just about intelligence, it's about clarity. If the question is vague, the experiment will be weak. If the question is sharp, the experiment becomes powerful. So scientists spend months, sometimes years, refining a single question before they even begin testing. Because in research, a well-defined question is half the discovery. Now, let's look at the hypothesis, because from a well-defined question, you move to hypothesis. Once the question is clear, the next step is forming a hypothesis. A hypothesis is an educated, testable prediction. For example, if we block this particular protein in cancer, if we block this particular protein in cancer cells, the cells will stop dividing. Or if this new compound interferes with the virus entry into cells, infection rates will drop. That's an hypothesis. So now, notice something important. A hypothesis is not a guess. We are not guessing. It's based on previous knowledge, earlier studies, and biological understanding. So science builds like a staircase. Each experiment stands on the step built before it. Now comes the heart. Now comes the heart of the process, experimental design. A good experiment answers one main question, not two. If we change this one thing, what happens? So scientists carefully define one, the variable they will change. This could be a drug dose, a gene, a protein, or an environmental factor. What they will measure, that's number two. Are we measuring cell survival, viral growth, tumor size, immune response? And three, the controls. Talking about the experiments, the experimental design. So controls are critical. They are the comparison groups that do not receive the change. Without them, we can't tell whether results are meaningful or just coincidence. Now, controls turn observation into evidence. A well-designed experiment removes biases, reduces errors, and ensures that the results are trustworthy, because in medicine, decisions affect human lives. Now, moving on to the laboratory studies. Now that you have designed the experiment, now before any treatment reaches humans, it begins in the lab. Yeah, scientists often start with cells grown in controlled environments. These models allow researchers to test ideas quickly and safely. At this stage, scientists ask, does this treatment affect the disease process? Is it toxic to healthy cells? How does it behave at different doses? Now, most ideas fail here, and that's okay. This stage filters out weak or unsafe approaches before they move further. When results are promising at this level, research moves into more complex biological systems where scientists can observe how a treatment behaves in an entire living organism. So, from the lab to humans, talking about clinical trials. Now, if laboratory and preclinical studies show strong potential, the research enters one of the most carefully regulated phases, known as clinical trials. And this happens in stages. We call them phases. This is 1, 2, and 3. Now, in phase 1, we ask questions such as, is it safe? What dose is appropriate? In phase 2, we ask, does it actually work for the condition? And in phase 3, how does it compare to existing treatments in large populations? Each phase involves strict monitoring, ethical approvals, and detailed data analysis. This is why medical innovation takes time. A treatment must prove not only that it works, but that it works safely and consistently. Now, here is a truth many people don't hear. Most experiments fail. Yeah. But in science, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the path to it. Unexpected results teaches scientists something new. Maybe the hypothesis was wrong. Maybe the method needs improvement. Maybe there is a hidden factor no one considered. So every failed experiment refines understanding and leads to better questions. That is how science moves forward, not by avoiding mistakes, but by learning from them. Now, moving forward. So, why should this matter outside research labs? Because every time you take a medication, every time you receive a vaccine, or every time you undergo a diagnostic test, you are benefiting from years of carefully designed experiments. Understanding this process helps to build trust in medical science. It helps to build patience with the pace of innovation. It helps to build respect for evidence-based healthcare. And it inspires young minds to see science not as magic, but as a disciplined, creative, and impactful human effort. Now, in closing, science does not move forward by accident. It moves forward because scientists ask the right questions. Scientists design the right experiments, and scientists follow the evidence wherever it leads. Behind every medical breakthrough is a story of curiosity, rigor, and persistence. Thank you for joining me on this special Synapse episode. I hope you have learned something. I am Dr. Akinbobola Otitoju, and I look forward to seeing you next time as we continue connecting science with society. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to share and don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Until I see you again next time, stay curious. Bye for now.